and welcome back to my channel. Let's not beat around the bush. This is a pep talk. You're waiting for your results, and I am here to hopefully help. Let's just cut to the chase as well. If you're watching this and you're waiting for results, chances are you're gonna like my other videos. You might as well subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. No, seriously, thanks. Okay, so yeah, this is a time. This is especially a time right now because things are very strange, and we are not here to pretend that things are not very strange, and we are not here to pretend that this is like every other year's video, you know? I mean, honestly, let's get into it. Results are coming. You may not be happy with them, and that is a fact, ow, of life. Just like that's a fact of life. Because ultimately this is about, you got some results, what are you gonna do with them? How do you move forward? Right here, right now, you're allowed to be upset. You are allowed to be upset with what happened and with the way things panned out. That is allowed. What I think is not a very healthy thing to do is to let that upset continue for an extended period of time and to let it filter into other aspects of your life. Everyone's individual, everyone's going to be upset about things for a different amount of time, but I do think it's important to try and move past it. Think of that plan B, think of the options, put it into a context, into the bigger picture as soon as possible, because you get to move on quicker that way. That bigger picture is so important because often you'll find that you have focused in on that one exam or that set of exams, and in the wider context it's not as important as you think. And easy for me to say because I've been through all of this now and I'm not waiting for my results. People used to say all the time when I was doing my GCSEs things like, oh, don't worry, they're not even that important, which is so annoying. None of that here. It is important to remember that these things mean a lot more to you at the time than they will do down the line. That is true. Whilst they may mean you can't progress to the next stage in the same way you wanted to, in the same time frame you wanted to, etc., that doesn't mean that things are over. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you that. So here I am telling you, don't worry, there will be another route, there will be another thing you can do, there's ways around things. In all steps of life, it's just important to think to yourself, this may not go how I want it to go, and I need a plan B. But if you're watching this and you already have your results, you can think about it now. It doesn't matter if you haven't thought about it in advance. Yeah, okay, it's a good idea to, but if you haven't, no stress. Think about it now. What's my end goal? Is there another path to get there? You would surprise yourself how many paths to the same thing there are, or even slightly different paths that will lead you to something that you maybe didn't even know you wanted to do. Everyone always says that. Oh, paths in life and they all lead different ways and which one will you take? That's not very helpful to someone who's about to get their results, granted. However, it is kind of true. There are lots of ways to do things, there are lots of options. You might have a period of time now where you are not happy with your results and you don't get to do what you want to do straight away. And I can't promise you that you're gonna find that other option immediately, because that may not be true. But is that a bad thing? No, sir. That's okay, that's life. That's kind of a big message here. Things happen, you know, and you kind of have to get on with it. Unfortunately, the school system has a habit of getting it into your head that you get the marks that you want to get, you go where you want to go, whatever that might be, and that's it. That's your path. And that is just not true, and there are so many options. You may not be happy with the options, and I'm not saying that you'll find a perfect other option, but you will find something, you will make it work, you will probably end up enjoying it, or you won't like it, and you'll move on and do something different. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you will work things out. No one could have predicted this. You may be sitting there and thinking, I was going to work really hard right when school closed, and that is just bad luck. That is just bad luck. And what can you do about that? Keep going. Keep on with the flow. Whatever happens, whatever the result is, keep pushing forward to whatever it is you want. You want to retake? Try your best to retake, if possible. You want to still go to uni, even though you can't go to the one you originally wanted to? Still go. You want to appeal your mark? Appeal your mark. Do you know what I mean? Make those steps, keep pushing forward, whatever that might mean. Again, it's so individual, so I'm so wary to give advice like appeal your marks and stuff, because obviously I can't for sure say that that's going to be possible or anything like that. What I'm trying to say is if you want to push forward through this particular milestone, you can. There are ways to do it. I believe in you. Talk to people, talk to your friends who have done the same thing as you and gone through the same thing. Talk to older family members who have not gone through anything similar to you, because actually sometimes they can give you really great advice, you know, from an unbiased perspective. Talk to older people like me, for example, who went through this a couple of years ago. I know what it's like. I remember what it's like. Even if it's a bit different this year, it's similar enough. Just slap myself again. Because ultimately, as annoying as those two stupid words stepping stone are, they are so true. Everything is a stepping stone, and there are so many stones in the river that you can definitely just pick some other ones and make it work. Do not compare yourself to other people. There is unbelievably no point. Like, there is no point. Obviously, we're not ignoring the fact that sometimes there are genuine problems with the dog is staring at me. Obviously, we're not ignoring the fact that there are genuine problems with marking sometimes. Obviously, with these predicted grades, things are difficult and things are different, and you might genuinely feel like there's a reason that you didn't get what someone else got and you deserve that. That's like an individual personal thing. However, when it comes to your friends, do not compare yourself. Why would you compare yourself to someone who is completely different to you? And even if you think they're the same as you, they're not. Sometimes it is unfair, but at the same time, you have to remember what you did as an individual. So you put your work in, or you had all these amazing other things going on in your life, or you're just a really good person who's trying their best, and that's enough, and that's great. And I'm proud of you for being that. We're done differently this year, granted, very differently, and so you may be feeling very differently about results day than I did, for example. But I don't think that takes away from the fact that you should be proud of yourself, because you still got through a really difficult period of life, which was, you know, the last few months have not been easy, and you still got through that. So whatever you get spat out at the other end, whether you think it's fair or not, and whether you're happy with it or not, you still achieved something. This is actually a really hard video to make because everyone's individual circumstances are so different, and the way the system's working this year is so different that it's kind of impossible to give like blanket advice. I do think that some of the take-home messages that I want to give you do still stand true, which is ultimately be proud of what you've done and don't worry, you can make things work. So I hope this was in some way helpful to you, and if you want to comment anything below, obviously, and talk about your results or anything, that's probably easier than me giving more random advice that may not apply to you. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. Very proud of you for doing these exams, and I will see you in the next video.